All right, welcome to the next episode of Down to the Wire. This is your sports broadcasting team, and today we've got a couple of young ladies here in the booth with us, Sophie Vogt and Kristen Wittu. Both are current seniors, right? And Emeralds
Yes.
with the is it the Winter group? It's Winter Emeralds.
Yes.
All right. So we brought you in today, and we wanted to talk to you guys about kind of like your journey, all the way through this year as a senior and also on the Emeralds group, and learn a little bit about you, learn a little bit about the Emeralds, and kind of what you guys operate. You guys, you're competitive right now, correct?
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about that as far as the competitive part. I know a lot of people don't realize that because it's something new that's just kind of been brought into the school. Usually in the past, the Emeralds have been just performance-based only during like half times and for football and basketball and stuff like that. But now you guys are not only doing that, but you're also competing. So explain to the audience, a little bit about this competition and how it came about and how you prepare for it and what goes on at the competition.
I mean, wasn't it brought up like a few years ago?
Yes, my sophomore year.
Yeah, before I was on the team.
Okay.
And like it's just another different experience for us. It makes us work a lot harder
Definitely.
to be stronger to go against some other teams.
So how many people are on your team right now?
8.
Okay, so you got 8 competitive, and you're in preparation. So tell me about your practices. Like how do you basically on a normal day? What do you do at practice?
Well, we usually start stretching, and then we'll warm up, and then we'll go through the dance just a couple of times, and then we'll clean the dance over and over again until it's like to our liking.
We'll like nitpick it and tear it apart and be like, everybody needs to look the exact same on this part, and this part, and change things that might not work at the time.
So do you have a time frame that you have to hit? Is there a certain time that you have to go, or as far as like your dance is concerned, does it have to be 2 minutes or 3 minutes, or how does that work?
I feel like we relatively keep it around 2 minutes.
Yeah, it depends really, just what we're feeling and what song we're feeling like dancing to.
So on the songs, when you go to competition, do you just do one song, one performance that you're practicing the whole time, or do you have maybe a couple of them that you do?
This season we only had one, and we had one last season, right?
Yes, to compete. Usually we perform different dances at the basketball games, but this year it was a little bit different since we didn't have a coach. It was a little bit harder to fit in a bunch of dances while cleaning one really good dance.
Wow. So let me get this straight. So you guys did not have a coach this year. You've been doing this on your own.
Yes.
Pretty much.
So how all right, so I've got a million questions now. All right, so let's open that up. All right, so without a coach, who called the practices?
So we technically did have like a coach, but it was one of the dancers' moms. She just basically supervised.
So volunteered.
Yes, so volunteered and set the practices. We just kind of coached ourselves like dancing wise. She was just kind of there to settle like arguments and problems.
Sure.
Or like what should we do, what move to do on this dance. She would kind of like tell us which move to do.
She took care of a lot of like the financial stuff too, so like getting us signed up for competitions and knowing which games to go to.
So you guys only had to really focus on what you're doing, which is the dance part of it. Well, who kind of led? Like, did you have any leadership on it? I would assume you'd have to have some sort of leadership. Who kind of took the leadership role with your group right now?
Definitely Olivia, because it's her mom.
Okay.
So I feel like since her mom's the coach technically, she kind of helped out, and she was basically like the team captain, I would say.
Okay.
Like we didn't vote for that, but she basically took initiative, I feel like. And she sent messages to the group of like what time we're meeting, and it was really helpful to have like someone just automatically step up and like be like the boss and tell everyone what to do.
Well, that's outstanding. And she's a junior, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, excellent. I guess so. When you guys are learning where do you learn your moves then? I mean, if you don't have a coach bringing in something fresh, you guys are having to do all the research and everything, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you, I guess, do you assign somebody to find, some moves, or how do you go about doing it?
Olivia choreographs the dances, and
Okay.
then, like, I know that me and Ava and Jersey
Mm-hmm.
do dance outside of school,
Okay.
so we know a little bit of, like, different techniques and stuff.
Sure.
So if Olivia's like, hey, how do you do this? Then we can help teach the team.
Okay.
But if it's something like a trick, that's definitely Ava's thing.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I mean, my hat's off to you guys. I mean, having to deal with this diversity. I mean, I couldn't imagine going into a season and saying, well, maybe baseball or something, and like, hey, we don't have a coach, but one of the parents is sitting down and good luck with, your season this year. Okay, so let's expand then. All right, so you're learning dance techniques. You got, your interest outside of school, so you guys are bringing in a little bit of experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, with that, when you go to competition, when is your competition that you have to go and compete against these other teams?
We had Seckman last month.
Yes.
I don't remember exactly when. And then we just had state over the weekend.
Really?
There's different times for competitions.
Mm-hmm.
It's just wherever we want to go, we'll sign up for the date.
Okay, so these are open all over the place.
Yes. Yes.
And you guys have to look at the schedule and say, all right, this is something I think we can meet as far as dates are concerned, and we're going to prepare for that.
Yeah.
So so you just said you went to Seckman last month. How many teams were there that you competed against?
That we competed against in our division was probably, I'd say, 7 to 11.
Okay.
But overall, there's many, many dance teams there. It's just kind of like division and how many people in your school you have.
Okay, so they base it on school population, just like
Yes.
they would any other sport.
Uh-huh.
And so what are you guys, D1, Division
We're
1, or what?
D2.
D2, okay. So you just went to state, you said?
Yes.
How was that? Like, explain that to me. Where'd you go?
This year was held in St. Charles, right?
Yes.
And last year was held in Kansas City, so we had to drive all the way out there.
Okay.
But you just show up, and then there's a practice area that you go and practice your dance.
Mm-hmm.
You go out to perform it for a panel of judges,
Right.
and then you do that, how many dances you have, and then you're pretty much done.
And you're on a stage, correct? Or are you?
It's like a basketball court,
Okay.
basically. It was at the arena, so it was a little bit different. It was kind of like, this time it wasn't a basketball court. It was kind of like a basketball court, but it was little, it was placed there. It
Okay.
wasn't just
It's like
naturally
A
there or
makeshift
anything.
one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I didn't know if they had, because of how many teams they might have, if you have one group over here performing and at the same time there's another one over here performing or
No, they
not.
just move through really quickly. So
Yeah.
once one performs, and then 30 seconds later, another one does.
Yeah.
So you've already got your schedule and saying we're at this time or around this
Yes.
time after
Yeah.
this team. Okay. Is there any snafus that's happened where a team shows up and hey, we didn't have any players show up today, or we have a girl that got injured or something like that, and they get bumped and everybody has to move up or
I
anything
mean,
like that?
I'm sure it happens, but we have not experienced
No.
that. So
So then, after you get I guess you go in, you perform, and then do you just leave and then find out the results later, or how's that work?
No, we stay there, and we usually go out with the team to go eat or a team meal, and then we'll come back later and then sit together, maybe watch a couple dances, and then after that, we'll find out the results.
Okay.
they'll have an awards session.
Yeah.
Alright.
To where everybody finds.
So how did you guys do this year?
At state, we got 7th.
Yeah, we got 7th, and then what did we get at?
At Seckman, we got 3rd.
Okay.
Right.
How many teams are at state? Is it? I mean, you're talking about the Division II for the state of Missouri, right?
Yes. And our category, we only brought Palm this year, and there were 11 teams.
Yes, there
Okay.
was
We got
11.
7th out of 11, but they are really good.
Yes, all over Missouri, and they all do have a coach, so we have a little bit of a disadvantage.
Oh, you have a major
too.
disadvantage, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Yeah, I mean, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. And the fact that you guys are right in the mix, I mean, in the middle somewhere, that's awesome. It really does say a lot about you guys. And I don't think really, I don't think a lot of people know that. I mean, I work here, and I didn't realize that. I mean, I did see the parent there, but I just thought naturally that was the coach who got hired, but it's just a volunteer. So that's just crazy. Well, congrats to you guys. I mean, seriously, that's
Thank
really
you.
awesome. I know that people don't give it as much respect as sometimes it should be, because I know dance is a difficult thing, and it does take a lot of practice, and it's a lot more difficult than people give it credit for. My daughter, she did dance all the way through grade school, middle school, and then high school, and I've seen her with hurt ankles, toes. I mean, all sorts of stuff. And then sometimes the drama, like you say, that comes from arguing that I want to be on the front line, or I want to be, that we should do this move, or, it's definitely hard to sometimes get some continuity within the framework of what you guys are doing.
Yes.
So, man, great job working on it. Not having a coach might brought you guys together a little closer than it would with one.
It definitely makes us have to work together as a team a little harder to get things done.
I bet. Well, okay, so let's take a step back here and learn a little bit about you guys. You guys are seniors, right? So, Kristen, what are your goals? Like after you graduate here, what do you want to do with yourself?
After I graduate, I'm either going to go into human resource managing, or I'm going to go into some kind of psychology, like maybe therapy. And then I'm going to Missouri Baptist University.
Okay, so you're going to MoBab to start out
Yes.
with? All right, nice. And what made you want to go there?
I am really strong in my religion, my faith, and being surrounded with people who are in that religion and having the religion classes, it's always something I wish I got as a child. So now I get the choice to do that, so I'm doing that.
It's always better when it's your choice, right?
Yes.
You pursue it a little bit more and have a little more respect for it.
Yes, 100%.
That's outstanding. Okay, well, Sophie, what about you?
My plan changes
Hey, that's all right.
But right now it's currently to go to Lindenwood University and
Okay.
get my BA in dance and have a dance major.
Okay.
That's currently what it is, and I'm trying to find a minor or maybe double major in something,
Oh, sure.
but not sure. on
So
the
are
field
you
yet.
with a degree like that? Are you like wanting to have your own facility to teach kids, or what?
I really like teaching, and I like to choreograph and do choreography. And I also like to perform. So with their program, it lets you do a little bit of both.
Okay.
So with that, I can get more jobs later.
Well,
down the line for
absolutely,
that.
yeah. Get some experience, hands-on, and,
Yeah.
and at a higher level, of
Yes.
course. That sounds awesome. You say it changes a lot, though. So if
Yeah.
that doesn't work out for you, do you have an area in school besides dance that you enjoy? Or?
Looked into psychology a little bit because I really enjoyed that class here,
Yeah.
and it's just interesting.
All right. So you guys into psychology. I don't know what to think about that. You're into the way the brain works and how people operate. You should look into sociology, like how people literally behave.
Yeah.
You ever people watch?
Yes, all the time.
We do that when we go to Walmart. I hate to say that. I don't want to be a stereotype, but I mean, boy, I tell you, you go into some of these big places and some of the wildest people are walking around, and I just get shocked at you have a million questions like, okay, what is it like at your house? And is this the type of clothes that you wear all the time, or and what kind of personality do you have? It's just crazy. So. Okay, well, it sounds like you guys kind of have a little bit of a map to your future and stuff. Are you looking to stick around here when you're all done? Are you going to explore way outside of the area and move maybe to California, Florida, any place like that?
I've really grown into liking St. John. I never saw the importance of the town, but as I'm staying here, I just find it more interesting. So there's definitely a possibility that I'm going to stay in St. John.
Okay.
But yeah, other than that, I might go to St. Charles or Arnold.
Okay, that's cool. I growing up in a small town, I've lived in, after I left high school, I went to the big areas. I went to St. Louis and St. Charles, went over to Texas, and came back here to this area. And I don't know, it's a small town. I feel like I'm not as stressed out. It's not a rat race where you're fighting traffic every day, and there's a lot of pluses and bonuses to living in an area like this. But there's also a lot of bonuses too living in a big city. Also,
Yeah.
that could be fun as well. So with that being said, do you guys have any kind of working with you guys? Do you guys have any rituals or hangouts or with your group? Like like you have dinner together, or you guys go out, or is it just like we show up to practice, we do our thing, and we're peacing out, or what?
I know we pray before every time we perform.
Yes.
That's a big thing. We never
Yes.
miss that.
Mm-hmm.
Before games, we normally have a small practice and then we go out to eat.
Yeah.
And just depending on what we feel like. We always get ready together, and that's really fun. Is there anything else?
Well, we might be planning like a group hangout at like Sky Zone.
Sky Zone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That might get ugly. What for fun? I don't know. It depends on the way you go with it. Well, what you guys are performing tonight?
Yes.
Okay, for senior night. Excellent. During your practices, what would you say is one of the hardest things you have to deal with?
Getting up and practicing.
Yeah, definitely. We talk so much because we don't have like a coach to be like, guys, stop talking. So we're just constantly talking to each other, and we're just like, okay, do we want to keep talking, or do we actually want to like get better?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, where does the time go? It's already an hour's passed.
Exactly.
We still haven't got done stretching. That makes sense. Well, I'm just kind of curious because, like you said, without a coach, it's like, all right, with 5 minutes, let's go. Let's get
Yeah.
on it. I just wonder, like, how that works, and how do you go about saying, all right, you're doing this wrong? You're telling somebody they're doing it wrong, and you're not, necessarily the coach, but you're one of the players who are trying to make the other player better, and you're not trying to step on their toes or hurt their feelings. You're just trying to make things better. Is it hard to convey those things to you guys? To
I
each
think definitely. I think we all kind of like tell people without actually telling them.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes some people are more blunt and honest than others, but we're all kind of like hinting like, oh, wait, what is this move? Like, we ask ourselves like, oh, what is this move supposed to be? And then sometimes we'll turn to the person and be like, I think you're doing this. So we all kind of hint to it rather than like being like, Olivia, you're doing that wrong. Because
Right.
that would just start arguments for all of us.
Absolutely. Well, I have to say, what a great experience that you guys had. I won't say it's the best experience as far as competition and maybe doing better, but having to do this for yourselves is unbelievable. It's like, trying to go out and save up money to buy your own car, or, what I mean, or paying for your own college education. I mean, you guys truly made it your own without really somebody there to kind of mold you. You had to mold yourself. So you had to break a lot of barriers in order to get there. I mean, a lot of groups would have imploded and been, that's it, we're done, we're not going to continue. So hats off to you guys. Great job. I mean, really, just hearing that makes me just proud of you guys just sitting here, because I've never heard of anything like that, since I've been here, ever. So that's awesome. We're about out of time right now, but I really appreciate you guys coming in and talking with us and sharing your experiences. It's been great.
It's been great. I mean,
I know you guys didn't know what to expect when you
Yeah.
came in. Just shove some microphones in your face, and it's like, all right, we're just going to talk, all right? So, all right, well, excellent. Well, for everybody listening out there, this is Kristen Wittu and, of course, Sophie Vogt. They are both seniors this year and Emeralds, and this will be their final, I guess, game other than, I mean, I guess are you performing at district since we're hosting?
Nope, the final performance.
All right. Well, good luck to you guys. Knock it out of the park. We'll be
Thank
watching
you.
and filming tonight,
Thank
okay?
you.
All right. Take care. All right. That's it for Down to the Wire. And catch us next time as we hit up a couple of wrestlers after the season and see what shakes loose.